Hey, it's me, Yah'Mein. So I'm coming to you. Today is February 21st, 2017, and I am doing this video in remembrance of my king, Cedric McEady, who passed away allegedly on May 19th, 2016 at 12:33 a.m. according to NYPD. And on that day, I, as a mother, was robbed of the right to say goodbye or right to even confirm whether or not this is my child, you know? I would think that within the law, the right thing, when a person pass away, is that you would contact the most, person next of kin, or the parental person, someone. But according to NYPD, my son was found by himself alone. And according to NYPD, he had no ID on him. However, he did have a cell phone, which is unlocked, no password, because it was my cell phone he had. And I let my kids use it, so he had it, and he took it that day. And he didn't return, and I'm left wondering today, here in February, who was that? Is that my child? Where is my son? What happened to my son? Because no one found it probable to contact a parent. The medical examiner's office didn't contact me. So if she had, as she has written in her autopsy report, that it was a missing person. So did she even find the identity and try to contact the family? No, she did not. No one contacted me except for a young girl named Ajane Williams. And Ajane Williams was dating my son. And she's a few years older than him, because he was 17 and she was 19. And she is the one who contacted me at 1:30 in the morning, saying that she heard he got shot, and she just gonna go and find out to see if it's true. So I said, let me know, because I haven't heard from him. He didn't respond back to me since I last text her, which was at 10 o'clock that on the 18th. I contacted her. I was like, I texted, said, where my son, because I know y'all left together. More than likely, you probably gonna return here together. And she said she didn't know where he was at. And no, she said she didn't see him yet, but because she was waiting for him, and she's gonna go to the neighborhood. And that was at 10 o'clock. But when I text her, her initial response was, I hate him, he's stupid, I fucking hate him, he makes me sick, just basically mad at him and angered with him. And he's stupid. That was her response. And my response to her was, that's your issue. I told you to leave my son alone. And that's on you too. And have you heard from my son? So that is what made her say that she would go look for him. And excuse me, because I am tired. It's past 11:30 p.m. So she contacted me back at 2 o'clock, and she was like, oh, it's him. The detective showed her a picture of my son with tube down his nose. So it's Cedric. So at that time, I just threw the phone, and I had to catch myself for about 30 minutes, maybe more, because no one called me. It was like, is this fucking true? And if it's true, where's the call? Because you're there. Why nobody saying nothing to me? So I live in, another borough from where the incident had occurred. So it took me a while, not a minute to get there. And it would be considered a while because I got there at 3:54. I don't drive, so I had to use public transportation to get there. And at 2 in the morning, it's like you'll be waiting, most of the time. But even in that time, no one contacted me. On the way, me to get to the hospital, no one contacted me. However, I contacted my mom, and I told my mom, because she lives, not even 15 minutes away from the incident occurred, to, not from when the incident occurred, but from the hospital, to, meet me there, be my spokesperson, meet me there, because I'm not, I haven't reached there yet. And my mom said that when she got there, only one detective spoke to her and asked her, do she know who his friends were? And she said, I don't, because he doesn't live with her. He only dropped by Grandma Ken and get some money, and he's out the door, drop the book bag off, and he go to see his friends, and then he go home. So she doesn't see, his friends, but she doesn't know, the boys in the building. But and she said that you would have to wait and speak to his mom, because I don't know anything, which is rightfully true. She wouldn't know. I'm the mother. So upon me reaching the hospital, when I arrived, no one was there except the security in the hospital said, well, we can't let no one come in, so you guys have to wait in the waiting room until a doctor or the medical examiner come and speak to you, because they're working on the body and no one is there to see it yet. So I'm sitting down like, okay, let me see who working on the body, and I'm like getting a little frustrated because it's over 30 minutes, so getting irate. And a nurse came out, and she said that I'm sorry for your loss, but he got shot 2 times. He was shot once in the chest and once in the foot. So I don't know what to expect at that point. So that was just her word. So I waited for the actual doctor, which the doctor came in, and as if, he did this like 15, 20 times already that day. And on some, we tried to save him, but, he lost breath. But the nurse prior, she mentioned that he was talking, but when he came in, he was able to sit up and speak, but he lost breath. He said to me that he passed away as soon as before he even got through the door. He wasn't, he expired. So when I heard that, I'm like, all right. So if my son was shot 2 times, then you guys should have 3 bullets, because he was shot when he was younger, and that means 3 bullets you should have. She said, no, there was 2. Or whatever. So I left that alone, because I don't really know what full detail is at this time, because I haven't seen him to say anything. So both the doctor and the nurse said, for us to wait, because the detective or the medical examiner should be coming to meet us. So about 6:45, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Can I see my son? Like, who's going to talk to me? Where's the detective? And all the triage nurses, were coming back and forth, to try to rectify something, say something, and even assist my mom, because she's on dialysis, so, helping her, schedule her appointment or whatever. They were kind enough to do that, but it was with a price, because they knew what was going on, because the nurse said, I keep calling them, no one is answering. I don't know what kind of game is being played around here. I'm a person that if you speaking, believe every word. I soak it up. Even if I don't respond, just know I've heard it all, and I'm analyzing everything. So nothing spoken goes unnoticed in my realm. Nothing. No laughter, no cry. I acknowledge all. So the nurse, when she went to get the other doctor to try to explain, and he's like, listen, there's no one is answering or whatever. But what you can do is you have 3 days to claim the body, not to claim the body, to make funeral arrangements. So what you could do is start making funeral arrangements, and you can come back with the information. So I'm like, that's bullshit, because where the fuck is the medical examiner, And at this point, I'm not excusing my French, because I'm not sorry for what I speak. So where's my son? How can I see my son? Where's the medical examiner's or a medical examiner? So they gave me the number and told me to call. Like, what kind of shit is that? So, because the medical examiner's office and the detectives put a hold that nobody could see the body, because too many people were coming in to the hospital claiming to be the mother or whatever. That's what they were saying. So they were basically putting a restriction, even though I'm the true mother. So this is, by the time I got to the property at 3:54 a.m., after I got off the train, I had to catch a cab, and that took me, because I live in Mass, so I took the train over the bridge and took a cab deeper into Brooklyn to be cheap, because I was broke at the time as hell, So that's what held me up, having to use public transportation, and then, the time of the hour it was, during the night. And even during that duration, no one called, not even the hospital. So all I have as proof of a death is by the word of mouth of this female, And when 45 come around, I'm out of it. Like, I want to talk to somebody. You understand me? And I see myself, my son and me when I'm speaking. It's beautiful. Because we make the same faces. It's crazy. But, so, I'm asking them, somebody going to talk to me. So that's when the emergency room department asked me to come to the back. And I provided them with my name, his information, my address, everything. And before I left, when I thinking like, all right, I'm gonna go to the detectives, because this don't make no sense. So my family and I, we left. When we left out of the hospital, about 7 in the morning, it was exactly 7, because I interviewed with Telemundo, who was up the block in the same location allegedly where the murder happened. I didn't even know anything. I'm just walking back to my mom's house, and God is all loving, all omnipresent, and always present, that this big old falcon bird, eagle bird, whatever it was, pelican looking, it came, and it was beautiful white big bird, and it walked in the middle of the street. So I said, as I pay attention to all nature spirits, I'm like, let's follow this thing. And it led me right to where I'm going to say the ambulance picked my son up, because on the ground was gloves, blood, and the blue sheeting that they lay over the mattress, for the patients to lay on in the hospital. Those were on the ground. That's what I retrieved. That's where that bird, big bird, led me. And when I got to that spot, it flew in the tree, and it sat and it watched my family and I cry and do an interview with Telemundo, quickly, because it was like the only they had information, that I'm like, so what do you know? Because I don't know anything. And they were very kind, to get information and ask very kind information, nothing, rude or anything. So I was, still in a weary mind, but I did it, and it was right in front of the building allegedly, because there was a blood trail from the location where I'm assuming the body was when the ambulance truck came to the building where the crime was committed, because there was blood going in the building, there was blood coming out of the building, you seen gloves in front of the building. So the crime scene somebody had to have brought that body outside. It was brought outside, I don't know. But someone said he was running. I mean, there was ample cameras outside. Ample. And anyway, go back, because that's going a little forward. But I saw cameras outside the building, because, me, my family, we looking around, there's other news stations there, or whatever, and they were talking to other family members of mine, and they were the ones showing us the building and where they were reporting this information from, because I didn't know, we didn't know anything. And all the while, mind you, Ajane Williams, who's 20 years old, so she's not a child, so I will speak her name, she was present in the hospital. I'm like, who did you talk to? She don't remember. Who did you speak to? I don't remember. It was some detective or whatever she claimed. So in the hospital, they were forthcoming, except all the lady did was give me a purple sticky that I still have in my book that I had that day. I put it in the book with the number of the medical examiner's office, and I kept calling the medical examiner's office while we sitting in the waiting room, multiple times, and nothing. The hospital were calling the detectives, and no one answered. So to the point, she was like, I don't know what kind of games they playing in here, but I'm about sick of this, because it's making her look stupid, like how you running your hospital and nobody know anything, and it was staged, all programmed, you understand? So if the spiritual mind isn't always open and it's not always seeing, you would know. So I just was observant. Like I said, I was observant to the way the security guard was, his demeanor, and the lies that the doctors told, two separate stories to me, because they came in one after the other. And the Dr. Toribio, whatever, his nastiness. He, as if, listen, bitch, this shit happens every fucking day. I'm used to this. So, next, like the next body about to come. So, you got to go. That's their demeanor. So, I mean, I'm always cool sometimes. So, often. So, I just let the spirit flow with me, broken. You don't think when you're broken. You're just trying to grasp and get and assume and try to get, whatever you can think of until more information is outpoured to you. So this is 7 o'clock in the morning. I reach my mom's house, and then, I go back home to the children, and, you grieve some more. And at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, okay, so nobody's still gonna call me? So I'm like, you know what? Let's make our way back to Brooklyn. We're going to have to go to the police station. And I made it myself and Ajane Williams. She was with me at all steps of the way. That's my boyfriend. I miss my boyfriend. I love my boyfriend. When I knew that day, my son, the day, days before, my son dumped you. So that boyfriend stuff didn't flow with me, because I didn't want him with you. But at that time, I would assume she would cry, because, he was still talking to you too, on the low, but he was still, cordial, and that was you and his business at the time. So her being present, you would hope she would be, if he was to have passed. So she was there playing the role very well. She was going back and forth, disappearing. It was like, where the hell is our Janae? She going back and forth. So until the next day, which is that morning of the 19th, and I made it to the detective. I spoke to Detective Walter, and the minute I got there, it was like, listen, threw the paper on the table. I don't got time to lie to you, lady. What does these 4 things have to do with your son? This is the same motion he doing with his hand, as if he's sick of it, He's sick of it too. He's sick of it too. That's his demeanor to me. As if I'm sick of it. So, what do these 4 things have to do with your son? He said, Bobby Smurder, a game called 100 Clock, credit card scam, and the guy with blue eyes. So, I don't know what to think at this point, because everything is just seeming not real, not right. I'm asking him, how come I didn't get to see my son? Like, where was you guys? And he said, he had left or whatever. He said he think that the other detective had went back to the scene, the crime scene or whatever, and that he told me that the detectives, would get in contact with me, and that, he thought that someone had already contacted me. So I'm like, well, I haven't seen my son. I want to see my son. They saying that police or medical examiner, she's not answering her phone. I don't know anything about Brooklyn Medical Examiner, Brooklyn nothing. So what's up? He said, you haven't seen your son. That's strange, because you should have seen him. It only takes about 24 hours. So that, that too. Actually, let me back up. I have to back up because I went into the story and not explaining more in detail. So before I went to the police station, I went to the medical examiner's office. So before I went to the police station, I went to the medical examiner's office first. And when I went to the medical examiner's office, because, at the hospital, they said that, actually, back up even more. That morning of the 19th, because I told you I got home at, I got home once we left the hospital at 7, got back home or whatever. That was 7 a.m. on the 19th, May 19th. He allegedly, I didn't know what time he died. They never said anything to me, what time he passed away, except that he did. So when I got back up the next, that earlier that morning, or later in the morning, 12 o'clock, I make it to the medical examiner's office first. So I did not go to the police station first. I went to the medical examiner's office first. It says that's what the nurse said, that, I went to the hospital first. I don't know why. I'm tired. It's now 12, so. And I went back to the hospital first because that's the last place I saw the body. So after, the hospital told me, they don't have a Cedric McEady here. So I was like, I just left your hospital. Where is Cedric? And they were like, you have to go to, another department because he wouldn't be in an emergency room. You have to go check, the registry or whatever. So I went there while I was with Ajane, because we did this the whole day. We went to the medical examiners, then, because she know Brooklyn. So she, escorting me around. And so first we went to the hospital. The hospital told me that, he's not in the emergency room, nor was he registered, because they had, his body is not there. Check. They don't have a Cedric McEady registered. They have only an unclaimed unknown, and that body was released already. So I would have to go to Kings County Hospital. So I'm like, how did a body leave that quick? I just left at 7. It's only not even 1:30. So they told me to check Kings County Hospital. So I go to Kings County Hospital. Kings County said we don't have a Cedric McEady or an unclaimed male. Check the medical examiner's office, and I was across the street. So I go across the street, and the medical examiners, you got to sign your name on the board, their board or whatever. So I go, and the medical examiner told me we don't have a Cedric McEady on our list for today or for tomorrow, to call back in 2 days. To give them 2 days, and to call back to see when the body, if the body was released to them, and every day after, if they don't have it, just call back every day after to see when the body will be released. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the program. So after I left the medical examiner's office, that's when I had my beef with the police, because it was like, you guys, don't y'all the first on the scene, shouldn't you call? I think, in 48 hours, don't they contact the fucking family, So I'm going to the police now. So I get to the police office, because at the medical examiner's office, they didn't have the body either. Like, what kind of fucking shit is this? Where the hell is the body? If he's not at the medical examiner's office, he's not at Kings County Hospital, he's not at Brookdale Hospital, so then where is he? That's when I go back, make my way to, the 67 precinct in Brooklyn. And that's when I speak with Detective Walker. So I spoke to Detective Walker, and that's when he said, let me know that, these 4 things: Bobby Smurda, the 100 Clock Gang, and the credit card scam, and a guy with blue eyes, right? So, he gave me a number to call, crime victims units. He was like, he gave me the police report, and that's when the death kicked in. When I saw the police report, that's when everything hurt my heart to the core even more, even more. I had thought I died already, but I died even more, because here I am at the hospital, you never said nothing. I get to the medical examiner's office, they don't know nothing. I almost passed the hell out and, hurt myself in front of the medical examiner's office, because I'm like, tell me this shit is a fucking joke. You understand? I'll never forget that day. Never. So, God knows. Only He knows. That is, and you have no control over nothing. So you're powerless as a mother, This May 18th you left. Now it's the 19th, and I'm still not hearing nothing. So I get to I see on the police report that the death is at 12:33 a.m. So I'm saying, okay, I heard at 1:33, and then I'm going to say confirmed only according to the girlfriend, because according to her, she saw the detective, and he showed her a picture on his phone. So that's when I'm like, oh shit. So I'm not going to get a call, so I got to go, because nobody called, and she's like, oh, I'm at Brookdale Hospital. So I'm like, okay, let me get there. So I see 12:33, like, whether the fuck I got there at 2:15. You motherfuckers died at 12:33, so you had all that time to contact me. Nobody called me. I didn't get to hold my baby. I could have been there, or seen him, to even hug him in his death, to say my goodbyes. I never got to say goodbye to my son. So to me, he ain't dead, because I have no proof. So here it is, the 19th. I decided we're gonna do this, to say goodbye. I'm still not aware at this point. I'm just seeing, trying to feel, what the spirit is trying to tell me, So I'm not speaking, just seeing, feeling. So, the girlfriend, she's like, his friends want to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know what they want to say to me. And all the girls down that day, they're like, Ajane being fake. Like, I don't even, like, trying to hint to me, like, she fake. But then she's hinting like they fake. And they all going and having secret meetings every minute. Everybody, crip talk. And my son, he taught me they little stupid code. So I know y'all having meetings, I'm not dumb. I see the boy emails. He was my friend. So I don't know, but I didn't know what's being discussed in the meetings. So I'm saying, why are y'all having these secret meetings? And Dee Dee, who's the girl, she says to me like, I heard that they some term like they lime Cedric, and they call him Suave Ben. So she's like, yo, them niggas lime my niggas Suave. Everybody came back from the meeting, kept on saying it. And Ajane, her main role was she put on the crying scene. Yo, well, they crying dramatical, you lost your boyfriend. And that's when the other girlfriends, because my son was dating other girls, not while he was dating her, but prior to her, so they was still friends or whatever. So they were like, checking her, and I'm not paying attention to that little kid beef, but I'm listening, and just the demeanor of the males, everybody was playing this tune. But I listened the most part that night. My son spirit came to me and he said, Mommy, you better not cry. Look at their face. He said, they waiting for you to cry. He said, they're fucking vultures, Mommy. They want you to cry because they were there. They did it. And I wasn't trying to, I hear, but I couldn't, but I remember I'm not going to cry because I look in the faces and I see because I'm trying not to break, even though I'm speaking to the youth or whatever. But I heard them during my speaking telling me, don't shed one tear. So I sucked it back up. Because I'm letting my baby down, So I'm still listening and I'm feeling spirits or whatever. And I'm also participating in the spirit world because I'm speaking to these children, spiritually, and birthing them back up spiritually. So it was recorded. So we go home that night's end because the fake beef friends or whatever, I wanted to be gone before all that happened. I go home and gives you some time to assimilate, but Ajane comes home with me. So I'm, out of my mind in the chair in another world. And she tells me, someone wants to speak to you, which was the girl, another one of my son's friends. And she said, she wanted you to know what happened that night. And she said, the girl got on the phone, and I expose everyone, but right now I can't remember nothing because I'm so tired, but I want to share the story, and I will piggyback, in future videos. So the young girl on the phone tells me that everybody was drinking down in the basement, everybody was chilling. She said they got him high, and they got him drunk, and she said he was just bugging out. She said that he was just saying, I'm the sacrificial lamb, and that he was just, saying things that they were, saying he bugging, because he telling them he's the sacrificial lamb. God told him he's going to be a sacrificial lamb that night, or whatever. But the guys got him drunk, or whatever, to basically they get you drunk because they catch you off guard. They basically planned what was going down. So she said, Ishi shot Cedric by accident because a boy shot a Cedric. She said it was a white boy or Spanish boy, whatever, shot Cedric. But Ajane said it was the Spanish boy Johnny who shot Cedric. And it was Ishi who shot the boy. But then the two other friends, female friends, said that it was actually Ishi who shot Cedric, but he did it by accident because his aim is not right, and he be shooting when they be doing robberies, that they did robberies in the past, and he never could shoot, so she's laughing it off like, yo, in her own sick mind, rationalizing what happened, because you have to understand too that these kids are sick. People don't want to think that because they black, they not sick. They're sick. And my son told me, if I didn't know my son, I would have, been probably passed away myself from a heart attack. But thank God that he's, was the person who's, even though we argue, he still tell me his feelings and his, what bothers him. So he already told me the relationship and the nature of the relationship with his friends. So I was already one step ahead of I loved him and he my best friend, because I'm like, well, my son told me that he wasn't messing with y'all. So how you can't tell me that he was this way because you wasn't his friend. So I was already aware of who he did talk to, who he didn't talk to. I was already aware of what wasn't, because at this time the beef was about music, because everybody's, singing this song, and my son is saying he up next because him and another friend did some music, some underground music or whatever. My son got picked from the music. And this is your friends, but my son, he not from Brooklyn. You hanging in Brooklyn. You ain't from Brooklyn. So you hanging in Brooklyn grandma territory. And these are your cool friends, because I was staying at my mom's house a few years past, so he obtained these friends from during that time. So it was only a short while, him knowing these friends, but he's so cool. He played ball, he could rap, he could sing, he could dance. He beautiful, fine made, intelligent. He got that package for a son, a child, and a man to be. He not perfect by far, but as a pubescent, in his learning phases, it was an honor to have a gifted mind, because it was a two-way street. He could give you information even though he's dishing you his issues. So it was a balance in those scales of, just as me being his mother, and probably him having his own mishaps about me being his mom, just like any other person, when you going through your disciplinary things with your children, or just parenting your children and whatever that goes on in natural homes all over the world. You're not immune to it, no matter what color you are or what pocket size you have. So basically that's the thing with him. So I knew these kids were lying. Now mind you, I still didn't get to see my son, so all I know is their version of what occurred. So I finally got to meet up with the so-called friend. I forgot his name too, but I'm gonna remember. Smack. And he says to me that him and my son went to do a robbery, but my son didn't want to leave the robbery. He wanted to stay and complete the robbery. And he ended up getting shot. They ran. They left. Because they was like, yo, we leaving. Like, let's go. But he didn't want to leave. So they left. And he ended up getting shot or whatever. So that let me know that you were there. It just put you present, because that makes sense to me, because according to the police, you were left outside by yourself alone. And another best friend, a so-called friend, Trey, he told me my son just left him at like 11:39. So he's like, yo, he just left us. So he said he left them chilling with his girlfriend Ashley at her house. However, Gigi, the girl who called me and told me that they got him drunk and they drugged him in his drink with lean. That lean that's how you go savage. It's that lean that turning, these kids savages or whatever. So she said that they, laced his lean or whatever, and that is how they, got him to do whatever. I don't know that night, because some people claiming that he got raped that night. And what the main story is that they were all chilling. So maybe a robbery had occurred earlier that day, So I can't discredit that may not have happened or whatever. But according to the news, they said that my son went to rob someone and he ended up getting killed. That was the first news story. However, the updated version was that my son was the innocent bystander in a robbery. So a robbery was occurring. He's coming by and he gets shot, by, an accident to shooting by innocent bystander. That was the version that the news was reporting. So those two stories from the news, I haven't heard, but I didn't see it at the time, but I did eventually. I never got to see the news report because the online version was cut off as if it never happened, or they never aired it. So that was from Channel 7 Eyewitness News, who is a fucking demons. They are all demons who howl at the moon. Listen to them when there's a moon, a blood moon or super moon. You hear them all made to go, oh, because they're demons. The building that these people work in, look at what's on top of the building, is a pointy symbol, right? Which is a mock of a small little miniature CERN that emits this radiation frequency that goes into the atmosphere. This is what allows these entities that can come in, and you see them on your television, and it could be a holographic image. But anyway, that's another story. Or it can possess the body too of the human while they're reporting the news. Or it can, light entities. But though that's for those who are on that level, you will understand where I'm going in that nature. However, back to what I'm stating with my son is these demons, because my son told me that they all chant to the devil. He said they all crazy. He told me that all his friends, when they start drinking that lean, they start banging in. They head on the wall, and they change. He said the body morphs into something different in a demonic nature, and they start chanting 666. And he said during this time, that's when they are killing people. Anyway, when you start hearing shootings that's going on, those are their kills. And they're eating these bodies, so you're never gonna find them. So that's his thing. He's like, why nobody never gonna find a body on Bobby Smurder, because they eating them, So when my son was telling me these things, I used to not knock him, not doubt him, but I just was like, really? Like, he just was knowing a lot of information. It was like he's schooling me on things that I'm like, I should know this, So having him around was very much of a pleasure. So, because the knowledge he shared was on point, always since he was a baby, 3 years old. Just God using him as a vessel to, feed me as well as I nurture him. So that's the relationship that he and I had. So, it's only natural I would feel his spirit even more. So that night, that they were telling me this story, everybody calling me to give me they input of the story, what happened. So I still haven't gotten to see my son. That was on May 20th when I met with Smack or whatever, and he told me his story about what happened. So I told him, listen, let me tell you something. My son told me that, when he got offered a record deal, you started changing on him. He told me that he said that you not like funny, but you trying to he told him don't take the deal because these niggas that want to sign you, they grimy. So I'm only looking out for you because I know what's best. So my son told me he didn't know if he should trust it or not, because he don't know this is people y'all hooking him up with. So he's like, Mom, what should I do? I told him, Cedric, get your own. You are you the leader? Why are you even, playing on that? But he felt like he not that he cared about the game. He cared about the music, the potential in knowing these people. They cool as hell. So you wouldn't think that your friends would listen to his music. All his songs would tell you too. He eventually came to find out, he was like, I love my niggas, but they wouldn't ride for me. So my son was letting them know, and all his music, he used to tell them why he's saying these things, and they used to get fucked in their head, because he's telling y'all, I already foresee you motherfuckers already snaking me already on some Judas and Brutus. So he was aware, but not aware how in the nature. But the omnipresent, his presence, Iya, is so mighty, because a month before my son passed, if you know the spirit, you know the crows. The crows came to me. We was in the park. It's my picture that's on my profile pages that day. That's why I use that picture, because that's the day the crows came to me. And they came to me. All things in the spirit greet me as your majesty, because I am. And I tell everybody, and I don't give a damn what any man or woman or child on this planet, whether you are human or not, I I know who I am, and I know who I gave birth to, and I know who speaks. You understand? And I know who breathed life into all things. So I'm aware beyond necessary when it comes to the realm of the truth. So in that truth, the crows were, crowing. And I had my headphones on. As you can see in that photo, you'll see me with pink headphones on. So, that day I haven't been out my house in so long or whatever. So I'm out, with my son that day. We took a, chill in the park or whatever. He was knocked out. So you didn't see him in the picture because he was knocked out on a chair. And the crows was trying to get my attention so bad. Like, it was one, a little bit of them were on one side, some were on this side. It was all four. They had all four parts of me, 2 on each side of the back of me, and then 2 on each side in the front. Not near me, but small. And then I saw an owl, and I saw the crows up in the trees. So I knew they were cahooing to each other to get each other to make a louder noise to get my attention, because the one that was next to me, he was breaking his neck. It was so funny. That's how I allowed them to get, to take my attention, because his neck was It was just, it was hilarious. Very hilarious and very beautiful, because I know how animals do come and approach humans, and they have a spirit, and the spirit does speak. So people are, or if you are a true person of this of God, and you are a true person, not even just of God, but just a true spirit to this world, to this universe, you should be able to pick up on all things, even plant energy. You should have that ability to pick up on them. So I am, because as I said, I'm very in tune, out of tune, and into tune, and in between the tune. So the crow got my attention, and they said, "Your Majesty." And I'm looking like, what the hell do you want? And because not too long ago, they were cats who followed me because they were hungry. So I'm like, come and I'll get you guys some food. And the store ended up giving me the food for free anyway, as if it was ordained to do so. So I fed the cats. So I know how animals approach and how they work. So the crow crowed, and he said, "Your Majesty, the time is coming." And I'm looking around like, what time? And at this time, my mom was very sick. She had almost passed away in a hospital that 2 days before that day. So I'm thinking, no, not my mommy, no, please, not my mom. And they say, "No, the boy." And I'm looking at him passed out, and I'm like, who? Tell me who? And I knew in my spirit, I already knew. So that was in April, I believe April, either 15th or the 18th, one of the two. Probably April 18th. And so my spirit was on guard for help my son and my mom, because I didn't know. But the reason why my spirit was on guard for my son most is because I decipher dreams, I decode dreams, I'm a dreamer, visionary, I speak. So as I said, I'm in tune. So maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I had a dream. 4 o'clock in the morning, jumped up out of my dream. Actually, I believe it was longer than 4 years ago. It had to be, but I'm giving it roughly 4. And in the dream, my son was on the left side, God was on the right. I only could see silhouette of my son, but the vocals, there was no real presence. And on God, you didn't see you seen the presence of him, even though I already seen, but I saw his presence. And his presence didn't come until, a little bit later to explain to me what my son was telling me. Because in my dream, God was telling me, showing me. It was nobody even saying that. It was just showing me the scenes after each. This is the showing of the scene. I was sitting in my house, and I wasn't even living in this house, but I was sitting in this exact house because the windows is the exact windows that were big, and these are the only big windows that I have, floor, windows. So I look, and I'm sitting in my floor, and it was a girl crying on my lap saying, "Please, I'm so sorry, please forgive me." And I was like, "No, you had enough time. No." And, very rude to her, very rude. And I'm like, why would I be rude to a girl? And I'm thinking, like, I have a daughter. Why would I be rude to my baby? Like, no way. Like, what's she going to do to me when she get a teenager, because she was older. So sometimes you cannot lean on your own understanding. So at that time, I just jumped up. I called my mother, and I'm crying on the phone. "Mommy, God don't lie. He don't lie. So if he's telling me in my dream, he knows already." But what hurt my dreams in the dream, I'm screaming for my son, "Cedric, where are you? Cedric, where are you?" And I'm like, is this boy going to run away? Am I being that mean? Because I never wanted him to have company. You can't have no friends around that time. Nothing. I was, working, Mom. You're not trying to be, having that type of party in your house, So I was strict to him in various natures. And besides, because, if you at work, your kids, they're going to be outside chilling. And he a boy, so he tracks the streets. So it was like, don't bring your friends in my crib or whatever. Don't do that. Your friends shouldn't even, you partying in your house or whatever. Especially the friends that are from, certain places. I don't want them over here. Not where we live. So he knew that. So in my dream, I'm like, "Cedric, where are you? Where are you?" And he came to me, and the voice was like the lightning. It was like, but it was like a speaker box. Like if he spoke, his word, the mouth would move, like like how if the heart monitor, go up and down. That's how his mouth would move. That's when I knew he was speaking. And like the clouds, they came in the form of the clouds, the mist of the clouds. And he said, "Mommy, I'm okay." "What? Like, you holding me up?" I said, "Cedric, where are you? Where you at?" He said, "I'm okay, Mommy." He was like, I'm okay, but I'm like he gotta go because he doing something. He's busy. So he was doing some music. Wherever he went, he was doing music. And I said, "Okay, are you coming back?" I said, "Well, I know whatever you doing, I make sure, I know the gods are having fun with you." I said, "So make sure you putting on your best performance to the gods, like show them that you the greatest." And I cried like, no, even though I'm telling you, because he said I'm coming back. So I'm like, all right. And then when that scene ended, that's when God came in and said, "Don't worry. He will sit here with us." And when he said that, I knew, oh no, that wasn't good. So I still didn't know what, but I knew it meant goodbye. Because in my dream, I haven't heard from him. "Where are you? Where the hell you at? I don't hear from you. Where you go?" And I'm weary. What's going on? And God said, "Don't worry. He will sit here with us." Then that scene ended, and then he showed me a boy, real dark-skinned boy. And he had on some dark grayish sweatpants, a gray shirt, a shirt, white and gray shirt with some black writings on it. And I didn't know who he was, at the time, but I know he was black as hell. So I used to tell my son, "I don't care, you can have friends, but don't hang out with dark-skinned boys." Being racist, but not really racist, but protective, because it's like I saw a dark-skinned boy in my dream, and he gonna set you up. So anytime you bring home a dark-skinned boy, I'm looking at that friend, and I'm scrutinizing his friends, because I want to know if I see him outside or whatever, is that is that this person that I'm seeing? And lo and behold, the day that I finally got to see my son was, he passed on May 19th. I last saw him May 18th because he went out that day, and May 19th, if he died at 12, so it just started that day, that morning. And so, May 19th, I didn't see him until his body until May 30th. And I had went back to the medical examiner's office 2 days later because I remember she told me, call in 2 days. I'm like, fuck calling, I'm going. So I just went. And when I got there, it was like, oh, we just finished working on the body. We just got the body. So we working on it, and we can't let you see it. We could only show you a photo. I'm like, oh, hell no. It's been too long, even though it's the 21st at that time, because I only got to see a picture. When I say I didn't get to see the body for 11 days, because I haven't got to see a physical body. You only get to see a picture through a computer screen of your child. They show you a picture, and then they show you a face, and on that face, it didn't fit what his friends was telling me what happened that night. Because the face that the medical examiner showed me, he had bruises on both cheeks, like somebody punched him in his face. And I know my son, you don't come home like that. Never. He don't get beat up. He beat you up. Okay? So, and I'm bragging, because he will knock you out. And everybody knows that. And, so I saw the bruises. I was like, something sounds fishy with your story. I put that in the memory bank. Something sounds fishy with their story. Is it, cause, and then I'm like, well, the cops ain't call me. So what was going on with the story? It sounded like a fight went down, So I'm telling myself that somebody was fighting him. Nobody never mentioned nothing about he got shot in the penis, because even on the police report, it says that one shot to the torso. It never even mentioned 2 shots. So when I get to, see the picture in the photo, I'm like, I can't really tell you that's my child. She's like, well, if you have a problem with this, when you get the funeral home will get the body, and they will address the issues. Any issues, you get to look at him. If you got any issues, they'll show you there. So I kept that in my heart that that's what I'm going to do. So I found the funeral home. So when I got to the funeral home, I'm like, all right, let me see my son. And that's when the games began. Every damn thing that medical examiner's office told me when she said, I can't let you see the body, but I can only show you a picture. Exact words. His exact words. I can't let you see the body. I can only show you a photo. Because when that was on the 21st that I finally made the face, went to the funeral, the medical examiner's office, and they claimed they finally got his body they finally got the body. That was on the 21st. So they had the body, and, she did her autopsy, the doctor did the autopsy, whatever they were telling me at that time that, this is what they're going to do, whatever. And before that, back on the 19th, when I first came there, the reason why I said I almost fell out on the ground outside of the medical examiner's office, because they told me they were waiting for Zinc Tech Lab. And I'm like, how are you waiting for a Zinc Tech Lab for a body you don't even know? So that frustrated me, because I'm not getting answers out of y'all. I'm not getting answers out of the hospital. The cops are not speaking to nobody. Nobody contacted me to say anything. And now I don't have a body to even prove somebody died. So it's like, if he's fucking dead, where the hell is he? You know what I'm saying? And you have no control. So imagine you have no control over something that's yours. He ain't mine, but he is mine. He my seed. And only I can carry that shit. So it's mine. You understand me? No one can claim foundation that came out of the old body. But anyway. So I'm going to take a sip because I'm thirsty. So everything was contradicting, but at the same time, everything was adding up. Slowly, weirdly, oddly, couldn't put it together. But small details like, okay, so I see, the friends definitely were there. So they said they were with him, and now I'm seeing face marks because I didn't see the body till after I had spoke with them. So I heard their version. So now when I see the body's telling me another fucking story. Not the body, but the face. When I see the face told me another story. And then I got angered because here you are at a medical examiner's office. Everybody's, I'm thinking that, somebody told me you get to see the body at the medical examiner's, or you're going to go, ID him at the medical examiner. So I'm, thinking, how, when, and how come I didn't? That's not fucking fair. What they told me, they just changed the law in 2015. So I'm a year fucking too late. So I ate it up. I had to suck that pain in because somebody's going to tell me something. So eventually, after the 21st, when I seen the face, I'm like, all right, let me, get the funeral man in here. So the funeral man, from the 23rd, when I got in touch with him, because I had to make an appointment with him because he knew my family from, somebody, my mother knew him. From working on other people or whatever. I never, met these people, but, team's known to the family. So I waited for him because we supposed to meet on the 23rd, but then he had to go somewhere right when I tell you I'm getting off the train to see you, but then when I come to ring, knock on the door, you didn't even have the audacity to say, I'm sorry, I gotta step out right quick. To me, it's like you must have fucking called the state and said, the mother called me to retrieve the body. That's what I got. The vibe that I got was that once I called him to get, and let him know that I'm gonna need his services, he put the call in to let them know that he the one who go and get the body and take possession. Because I couldn't find no other reason to think that, because the behavior he carried after only support my theory. Because the 23rd he was supposed to retrieve the body, he couldn't. He messed, then on the 25th we finally sat down, and let's do the funeral, how much all that shit was going to cost, because he couldn't get the body on the 23rd, some issues with the freaking medical examiner. He's saying he on the 25th we just doing the calculation, and I'm telling him, this is what I want, this is what I feel, this is what I think, and just going over the funeral home. And then he calls me on the 27th and tell me I got the body. So on the 27th he got the body because he couldn't get it between the 23rd and 25th because he said the funeral, the medical examiner, what released to me, whatever issue he said at that time. So I was like, damn, like that took forever. So it's like, fuck, I had to wait. It's nothing you can do. So when the 30th came, it's like 8 in the morning, and he's calling me talking about, Earl, pass me the phone on the counter, please. Talking about, can I get the clothes? I'm saying, dude, I just shared with you that I saw the picture from the medical examiner's office, and the medical examiner's photo is contradicting what the friends told me. So I want to see my son's body. Plus, I know what y'all did to Trayvon Martin, so I know what would go down with the body, so I won't see it. That was and I'm a funny person, so I do act funny. I can't help it. That's just my nature. You still have to contain some laughter and some love and some joy, because life is not lived forever, So in the midst of parent pain, I have to I have to feed myself joy, I still have to, heal and laughter too, especially, you have other children. So I have to, lean on the Spirit of God, and He is so amazing. Trust me, you need to get Him. Anyway, so the funeral home, he knew, and this is Fairhaven Funeral Home right in Brooklyn. You could take the L train to, I think it's to Lots Avenue in Brooklyn, or Livonia Avenue in Brooklyn, over there on Blake in Livonia, and that's where Fairhaven Funeral Home is, and he was, he was like, listen, I'm downstairs, can I get those clothes? I said, dude, what was the agreement when we spoke? Did you forget? And I'm sitting here like, I know I'll probably look like shit, because you know when you crying and grieving, you know the soak the body, you're not in your mind, so anybody can take advantage of you, so in that phase I was being taken advantage of. I wasn't aware yet, but I caught on. I caught on. Thank you, Lord. I caught on, y'all. So he said, I need it because I'm here. You might as well just let me get it. So I said, I'm not letting you get shit until I see that body. Do I need to get a fucking attorney? That's what I was saying to him, because he said, I'm not going to let you see it. I have to show you a picture, just like the fucking medical examiner's office. And I said, listen, man, if somebody tell me anything about a fucking picture one more time, I'm going to kill you. And that's exactly what I wish, that he got so fucking scared that he called my mom back. He didn't call me because I hung up on his ass. You going to let me see my fucking son today as planned? No fucking questions to it, because I will get in that ass. Don't fucking play with me. And that's for anybody. Seriously. Right? So, I don't know, he must have caught on that my mind will flip. So he called my mom back. As I said, my mother knew him, so she was helping me do this. So he called her, and I don't even know how to make no damn funeral arrangements. Swear to God, I don't know what the fuck nothing. So her being there, and she was telling him my concerns too, like, we want to see the body, because some of the stories is not acting right, and so he was aware. So for you to pull that, I can't let you see it, show me, and the way he said it was like, oh, you a demon just like them. I said, okay. So he called my mom, told her I could come and see the body at 2:30. So me and my family went to Brooklyn. We got there, and he said, he didn't have time to really work on the body because he had went to Virginia. So that's why he would, on his way back to Virginia, he wanted to get the clothes, and he was gonna go work on the body, whatever. So I derailed that, and I seen the body. I pulled the sheet off. Before I even pull the sheet off, it's like when you walk in here, I'm kind of excited, finally going to see my son. So I was excited, like, even though I was angered, I was still excited, like, I'm going to get to see my son finally. All right, good. This will confirm, So when I get in, I see this long body. It looked like the body was 7'1". I was like, who the fuck? I'm looking around. I walk around the whole body. I walked around in a circle. I look, because I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm thinking this, I don't know, who the fuck is that? That's not my son. So I'm like, everybody like, my cousins, they haven't seen my son in a while, so they don't know what I'm talking. I said, that's not my fucking son. It's not my son. This boy is dark. He looked like this boy named Ishi, and he looked like Bobby Smurda. Straight up, it was like, that's Bobby Smurda style. Like, that's exactly what my son looked like, because he was so dark, and my son, his complexion is lighter than mine. So it was like, how the fuck he get that black? And then the face, where did the scars go? Like, I saw these 2 scars, so where did it go? It was so perfect. I was like, but that's not what I saw. So, and then I pulled the sheet off, and that shit that stuck. I would have went to jail for murder that day on that man. And he threw his hands up in the air. He said, it wasn't me, it was the medical examiner. So me, females, all 4 black females, we sizing his bony ass up. Like, who did it? When? How? Who did this? How this happened? Taking pictures. So I shared that picture on social network. so people could see this is what your funeral homes are doing. This is what your New York Medical Examiner's Office are doing, and the police are aware. But at this time, I had no clue that the police are aware, because I don't know. All I know is they're failing to notify me of death, and I'm not thinking anything other. So when I see the body, I'm looking head to toe, looking the penis. It was so gross, as if they took it off and then try to put it back on. Like, it was just, so I'm thinking like maybe somebody mutilated this boy. Then a whole chunk is like somebody just, the rib section was gone. There's no bone, no nothing, just pure meat. And the stitches look like they took hay and just tried to stretch the body back, because it maybe there was no skin or something to try to keep the body back. So there was no nipples, You're supposed to have 2 nipples. So if the medical examiner do a wide autopsy, the nipples for the male up here, they were gone. I didn't see anything, actually a little piece of the nipple stuck up. And I'm like, well, since when they do that? And how come the body, the legs, like all down the side of the legs, ripped out? All on the left side, from the hip on down to the calf, ripped out. The arms ripped out. The back from the bone, shoulder bone, from the top here down to the back. The muscles, that was gone. It was all stitched up with just anyway. It's as if a blind dog did it, Some fucking Frankenstein stitches, And that grossed my heart, but I had to see it, and I thank God that I see, because I would have, the way the funeral home person, Jason, was acting towards me is, don't just let me handle everything. I'ma hook him up, because I was saying, how my son, telling him, how he keep himself, and he like to groom himself or whatever. But so he already had a ideal of what I the arrangements I wanted with the body. So for him to say he want to do it without me taking a look is like, you don't have authority to do this, and I'm not giving you the authority unless I'm present. That's how it's gonna work. Like I said before, don't let these tears fool you, mister. So he caught on that day, to the point where he said, I don't want the fucking body in my funeral. Either get it out, or it's gonna go to Pottersfield. So I had to call, a friend of my son's, and she was, a worker of his. Her caring heart for him, her family member, got to another funeral home that's, same, time frame, that they were able to go retrieve the body and, pay that other, pay him whatever fee, because he's saying he's not releasing the body until we pay him, over $1,000 for embalming the body. And I'm like, how did you embalm something? And it's like, what did you do? You said you didn't even have time to do it. I don't know. But whatever, the funeral homes got to tackle out. But that didn't stop. The pain didn't stop there. The pain only escalated, because now at this new funeral home, I'm like, can y'all tell me that August is doing? He don't know. Then he's on some, he don't know if they swapped the body, because he held the body in another funeral home, because he had multiple places, but he had the body in a location that, they do the embalming at, and he can't be certain that they swapped the body. And then at the same time, he kind of feeling like he don't really want to do the funeral either, because it's getting too sticky for him. But he knows that, he was like, I understand your situation, but so I'm gonna be there for you, because I'm telling him I don't feel like that's not my son. So I'm currently, trying to reach out to, the Department of Investigation, I reached out to all the legislators. I reached out to Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Margaret Chan office, Alice Cancel's office, the Daniel Padron's office. Your legislators, even in, for Brooklyn, for my zone, and also, for Brooklyn zone and my zone as well. So, Clark Yvette or whatever, and the district attorneys. I'm calling everyone to let them know I have an issue with this body. No one. So mind you, the funeral home, the first funeral home, we, originally scheduled that funeral for June 2nd, and that didn't happen. And then, the threat of, placing him back in Pottersville or whatever, because I have an issue. And then the next funeral home, he waiting to bury because I want a positive ID. All I asked for was a DNA test. Provide me with proof. And then I contacted, Margaret's office. She has somebody working in her office who he told me basically is the medical examiner's office, said that she did another, they went to the funeral home to do another ID on the fingerprints, and that her word should be sufficient because it confirmed that it is him. I was not present, nor was I ever informed that she was going to go take, to go to the funeral home to do another visit. First of all, why would you send the same fucking bitch back to do the job? I'm telling you, she fucking fucked up. So if she did that, I don't know. It just didn't make no sense. But anyway, I never spoke to her. I never spoke to no lead. I never spoke to anybody from that medical examiner's office except for Dr. Hammer from the medical examiner's office, because I want to know what was done. And she told me that they did a full wide autopsy on my son, and that he, was shot multiple times, and that there was, bullets there, and that the heart was there was the thoracotomy on the heart was done by the hospital. So that means the hospital must have taken his heart, because the heart was gone. Basically, that was the first thing to go, and which is weird because she told me that the hospital said that he wasn't breathing, that his breathing was, slow, so they called him dead, declared him dead because his breathing was slow. So I'm like, but she told me he came in there sitting up and was able to talk. So how was he not, how was your determination? That's what sparked everything. So June 1st, because the 30th was a Saturday, that Monday, it was like, I'm calling everybody, and the city failed. The city basically just bullshitted and railroaded, and all I want to know is, tell me, am I burying this person to the point where it's like, this is the two options you have. You either take it back to Pottersville, it's going to go to Pottersville, or you cremate it, because I was broke as hell, couldn't bury my child, couldn't do shit, I ain't have nothing. I left my job because I was thinking I'm going to move to another state to help a family member who's in the army, and her crazy ass bitch, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her, and I don't have any animosity to her because I don't have hatred, but her mind must have obviously been tripped while she was being in the army, because she calling me, telling me that they giving her these psych meds, and she went to the psych doctor. They didn't even do like 3 sessions, and they already the first session, and you diagnosing her with these disorders, and she's like, the military, they pumping us with these medications and diagnosing us with this stuff, and she just needed somebody in her corner. So I'm like, I ain't here for you in so long, I'm got your back, and she's pregnant, I got your back, girl. And I went out to her house, her space was big enough for me and my children, and it would be an even better environment. It just, everything went wrong, with her lies, and then I had to forgive her because the mind, it took me a while to understand that she ain't in that mind, because that hurted me. So whatever, all these things, I let my job go. So the benefits with your job come, you're not paying life insurance anymore, so that canceled out. So by the time my life insurance canceled out, I left my job in November. I stopped, they say, once your payroll's over. So by March, my insurance wasn't being paid anymore. It canceled in March. So he passed in May. So 2 months after insurance, so I couldn't even pay for a roach, funeral if I had to have one. I couldn't have it at that time. It was horrible on all levels, just horrible from where I was going in my world. But I didn't get sidetracked, and I didn't let any of that, just tear me out of my realm, because I died, 2 times in the midst of it, and I came back, and I'm still here, so I know God is working with me. I done woke up in my vomit 2 times out of the pain of waking up and accepting that the door ain't gonna open this time, baby. Go back to sleep and having God to nurture you and put the comforting spirit over you and put you in the rest state so that you can ease and heal me back, man. Allow me to heal me back. So you ladies, you fathers, you mothers, you got the power to self-heal yourself. You got the power to renew yourself and rejuvenate yourself with the spirit of EI. All things is powerful. I'm not whole yet, but I know I'm there. I'm not out of my mind. I'm not out of nothing. I'm on point, above point, and beyond, in between, as I say. So the fact that I'm aware and I didn't bury the boy when they told me to bury him. I didn't even get to bury him, period, but they cremated him. Because that was the only options. Like I said, I can't tell you to do anything. I didn't have nothing to make a decision. And to the point, they're tired. They didn't even want the body anymore because he died in May. Here it is July. And it's like, we can't wait for the state no more to make a decision, because I'm going to get in trouble if I hold the body anymore. This is what the funeral home's telling me. You're going to get in trouble. He got to take it back. And I'm like, don't take it back with him. I'm going to do I don't know if that's my son. And, he's like, I'm trying to be understanding. I know. Or is it that you don't want to let him go? Is that why you saying it's not him? Because, maybe I don't want to let my son go. I'm like, motherfucker, please. Like, that's not it. I don't have time for that. This ain't my child. And if it's my child, prove it to me, because he don't look like A, he didn't look like B, and I don't know who is C. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't look like the person that left my house. He didn't look like the picture that I saw at the medical examiner's office, and he ain't the same motherfucker that's sitting in your funeral home. And then that didn't end there, you all. That didn't end the story, because now you have to finally do the service. So July 7th, 2016, 7/7/7, the funeral take place. So I'm thinking I'm going to see that same face that I saw either on the picture, the bruise, or the same face that I saw at that first funeral home. I didn't see any of it. That shit was burnt. The face was burnt. Everything, the ears, all this was burnt. So I'm like, did this funeral home do the embalming on the body, thinking it was probably real, and that's what caused the face to burn? Because all of that shit was makeup. The eyelashes was fake. These motherfuckers got the audacity. They got the ability to stage faces to look like he didn't die. And then in one picture I saw, because I requested, the medical examiner's office report, her notes. I requested the hospital information. So now I got their information in writing, and I'm delving into what is written in paper. These two, the funeral home, not the funeral home, the medical examiner's office, and what does it correlate with the hospital is saying, and they're, they should have some similarities. So I'm seeing on the I'm sorry, I'm beyond tired, but I want to do this, so I'm gonna do it. Get my butt in the bag. But on the medical report, it tells you that they gave the heart to somebody named George. That's whatever. This George, they gave the body to. The heart had went to him, and they were taking, blood, plasma, and if he passed away at 12:33, at 12:34, they were already ordering blood. It was as if the decision had already been made. This is what we're going to do, and this is what we need it for, and the will was done. And at that time, the only person at the hospital was Yah'Mein. No one else. So I can never say what time Yah'Mein got at the hospital, because the detective that she said that showed her, because it wasn't Detective Walker, the detective that she claimed and showed her the picture of my son and tubes down his nose, he's claiming she's lying. He says she's lying. I never showed her the picture. But then another person told me a few weeks way later, on the funeral, the final funeral, that he too saw a picture. So who's lying? These children or the cops, or are they collaborating together? And that's what's going on. The gangs, the communities, these kids are collaborating with the police. The police protects these gangs. One hand is washing the other. Why would Trump have to meet with the gang? What kind of shit is that? He ain't meeting with people of stature, but the gang get a piece in his cake? What role are they playing in society? You understand? See, those gangs are God's army. They just playing on the wrong damn team. And we need to get our children up out of this bullshit and let them know, you want to play, you want to go to war, but don't fight for that dog. Don't fight for that man who gonna kill you anyway, or who wants you to kill you so he can feed off of you anyway. Fight for your, the real fight. You have to bring these children back up to the status of letting them know that they are in king status, and they're in queen status, they're in supreme status. Because if they don't see themselves as being supreme, then they're easily called desolate ones, or deplorable ones, or just nobody niggas, just nothing. So we have to, women, mothers, I put a calling on women. Nobody really responds to that. So that lets you know that the planet is dead. The people on the planet are already dead. They're just living, already walking dead. So there'll be no need to become zombies. You're already a zombie. You're already walking and living dead. You're not taking heed, or are you in tune to what's going on around you. These people are staging things, faking things. That eyelashes on my son's face, if that was my son, it's fake. The makeup on that face, it was fake. Remember when my son was born with like a tribal mark? I was born with a tribal mark. I was born with this symbol on my face, and I was born with this mark on my face, and this on my eye. My son had tribal marks as if he was born in a tribe, like he was just born. Born with the same hair. He had these little marks, but just right here, and they were dark, because they're dark. They're darker than the complexion. You can see in it. That's how you're able to distinctively see the mark. So his was darker than his complexion, and then the mark that was on that face of the body, it was light and up, a little up, and way lighter. So it's like, that is too light, and it doesn't, go with, because I have a lot of videos and pictures. None of that is my son, and I don't give a fuck with nobody damn. So you can't tell me what I gave birth to. I sit in there, I talk to this boy every day. Every day. We don't have that relationship where I ain't talking to you. Never. We don't have that relationship where you holding drugs because we had an argument, and we don't care about all that. Next. That's our mentality, because we knew that in this world, mothers and daughters going to wrestle, fathers going to go against fathers, brothers going to go against brothers. We was already aware, so we knew that how do we fix it and how we stay afloat while we have to marginalize in this world. But he was dating, and at that time, it was getting very difficult, because he's dating a girl who's older than him and have more control over him, and he was a puppy. He was a little love bug, but then he started getting angry, because he started seeing, like, you using me, you playing me, you doing all this thing to me, and I'm done. So he was tired, and I believe in the midst of him being tired, she too was conspiring, because she plays in that voodoo. She said she bought a Congo doll, Ajane, for my son, and that it was supposed to bring them peace, because he playing, I want to go to college, and he does her homework and stuff. It's like, let's dream for college, like how we want to have our dreams, and what are we going to do? So into her getting a Congo doll was supposed to guide them to get to this point where they free, and they're going to grow up, and they're going to move away and get an apartment and work and do this. In her mind, because she never had somebody to love her. Her father tried to kill her mother and burn them on fire, in the house. So her household was just crazy. Me, I'm not going through that bullshit. So she always would come over, and I didn't mind, because I felt like I was being her mother. Her mother wasn't there for her. Her mother wasn't listening to her. She used to want to kill herself in front of me and my children. So I would hold her in my arms and cry with this girl. It was like I took her as being my daughter, and she was very helpful to me. She could cook, she could clean, she was a very nice person. It's just my son, you guys can only, if you're gonna date, and it has to be in a friendship manner, because you're not ready for that. But she had everything mapped out in her mind, where they going, if getting pregnant, what color, the baby shower, the wedding. It's like her mind was already set and planned, and just have it manifest. And maybe I came in and broke that up. So it was, I'm catching her. I'm waking him up to see this stuff. And boys, they didn't. He couldn't see it. It came to the point one day he told me, "Mommy, you just don't want me to be with her," and that hurt my heart, because it's like, boy, you know me better than that. But that let me know, like, okay, this bitch was really playing with this magic bullshit. So I see where you going. And it's crazy, because a week before my dad, I made her stand right here where I'm sitting. And my son was sitting behind. And I told her, I said, you love my son that much that you will be willing to kill my son, because I already know, I foresaw it. My son knew about the dream. She even knew about the dream. Because I tell everybody that dream, because that's, this smother part of me came in. It's like, be wary of who your friends you in these streets. Dude, gotta watch out. And these girls, watch out, because I seen a girl, I don't know who, even until after that day that I am aware it's her. I didn't know. Well, it confirmed it was her, because my spirit that week was aware it was her. That was her hand in this. So they not acting alone. She played as an agent. And I know that she's a body. Her body is a commode for spirits, because you're playing with these spirits. You're becoming entities with these spirits. She said she went to the Voodoo Johnny in Brooklyn on 5th Avenue in Brooklyn, and he gave her the Voodoo Congo doll to do the voodoo, and told her that my all this thing about her relationship with my son. So whatever she did, and then 2 days after, not even 2 days after he died, you on Facebook saying that when I said you're mine, I meant it. And when I say, like when I say you mine's forever, and I'll see you soon. So when the detectives finally came to my house, like around the 28th or whatever, 29th, they too were like, how Ajane is their prime suspect. They said that she's definitely a suspect, in that they're going to let her hang herself. So I took it at that. I asked Ajane, did the cops speak to you? She said, no, the cops never spoke to me. They ain't say nothing to me. So I'm saying, why? Because she told me she was going to the cops, and the cops told me she never came to us. And I'm like, this bitch is lying, and you motherfuckers are lying. Like, I don't got time for this shit. So when the time came for me to get my body up to move, it was in August. When he passed in May, I couldn't move or nothing until about August, when I had the energy to really soak everything in and think and get the papers, and then go to the courts and proceed in that manner, and as time flourished. So he died in May. In September, I finally got the photos from the medical examiner's office, confirming what I felt all along. So for everybody who thought that I'm crazy or I'm out of my mind because I'm saying this ain't my kid and shit and ain't right, fuck you. And I mean it. You know what I'm saying? Because you will get fucked, really. But fuck you, because you have no knowledge, and you rejecting knowledge, and that's the set that you will get fucked, from rejecting knowledge, and it shall be. I don't care who you are, and I'm unapologetic in this video, because I will not forgive no one. I have no forgiveness in my heart for anyone. I told you all in May that you had until October to talk to me. I told the government, everybody, you all got until October to get your story straight. This earth will spin, and it's going to get worse. And it will get worse if I don't get my damn justice. It gets worse. You don't know the power and the spirit of that woman. She commands these winds that will sheer apart. Don't know. But anyway, because when you live on this earth, you have to conduct yourself as an earthly citizen. because then you won't get checked into the nut house by the nuts. So I'm not worried about none of that, because I know that there are many, numerous thousands of beings who are in the mind, presence of minds, and who has the eyes like minds, and who are aware of where I'm coming from. But I know that this girl's body, I believe that she was used as a vessel, and to complete a mission. And my son started catching on that she ain't normal or natural as she possessed herself to be. Because even when I finally got to meet her mom or whatever, her mother, and I'm telling her mother, like, why I let your daughter over and I haven't heard from you. And then I'm telling her, because your daughter expressed to me that, she was raped, since she was 11, she's been prostituting, and you haven't said anything. She's going to, 19, and she's still prostituting. So from 11 to 19, your daughter prostituting, and she, you wasn't there. And she's like, what? Like, when the fuck was this? And, all that stuff like that, whatever. But it was just like, wow. And she was like, this, I honestly, up until now, I felt really hurt, and I felt like I still love this girl, because she was helpful for me, and she was, she had her, everybody got great ways, good and bad, we love them both. So I was betrayed. I felt hurt and betrayed because, even after you still sat in my house, you're that wicked that you sat in my house. You returned to the source. And I believe you only came back here because you wanted to see me cry. You wanted to see my pain. She was so envious of the relationship that I had with my son that we could argue and still be friends. And maybe you wasn't that, relationship with your mother. And I'm sorry for you if that happened, Ajane. And this message is for you, Ajane. I really am sorry. And I pray to God that he help you. I pray to God that he fixes with what is ever inside of you. But I have no forgiveness to you. I have none for you anymore. I did, but the time ran up because you I heard that you from a door that even out of your mouth that you know that my son is gonna protect you, so you don't feel bad for what you did. And I hope that same mindset and that same spirit you hold when you're in prison, or whatever sentence the spirit placed upon you, or whether it be the man of this world placed upon you through the courts. And it's just, there's no forgiveness in my heart for you anymore. I learned to not love or have forgiveness for you anymore in the nature where I wouldn't want to see nothing done. You don't want to ever see no child go to prison or their life being stopped, but you had none empathy for my son. You had no empathy for his life, and there'll be none for yours. I respect you, that I wouldn't come and attack you or say vicious things about you to you and your family, because I'm a woman. But your time as of, bearing forgiveness, I don't have any for you. I still will feel sorry for you, and I wish you rot. And your sin, your own mother and your own siblings will reap because of you. The pain of loss because of you. The sad thing is that you may have thought you won with leading my son to be slaughtered like a lamb, because he didn't die at 12:33 according to their medical records, because it's had at 5 o'clock in the morning to 5:45 a.m. he was taken to the psych ward. So and his body was being observed through the psych ward. So if that's the case, then who is that is sitting in a box, and where is my son? Is he in Germany, in that Frankfurt, Germany camp where our secret military operate, under that secret military program Hillary Clinton is talking about? Did he get adopted to that? Or did you take him into your spirit cooking party like Podesta was bragging, because that's around the time my son go missing, when he started bragging about those 14 missing. So could he be one of those? Or did you eat him too? Or was he a Pizzagate story? Because the way the body was mocked is it he was being feasted on. And I believe that the world partook in the eating of my son. And that is the judicial system too, as well. And those who work in the criminal courts with children too are sacrificing and eating our children as well. So don't think that those laws and those who sit behind to govern the laws are not participating in the mass human sacrifice that is happening here in America, and we are too coward to talk about. Bunch of cowards on this planet. And the Most High said that because of these things that people will perish, and that because of these things, the revealing of these things and during the time, we're gonna wake up eventually, some of you, and see what's going on. So things that are not seen, they will become seen. And look around you every day. The world is every day around the world, not just America. I read a video with a doctor saying that this thing is going on in Jamaica. And I'm not surprised, because in Brookdale Hospital, the staff are from the islands. They damn near dominate these hospitals, these staff from the islands and the Haitians. So I'm wondering, what government funding are you all receiving? Are you working without a card? Or what's at it and in it for you that you will allow your own children's possibly to be passed through the hospitals like dogs? Are you willing to go through it? But the Most High said, we reap in what we sow, and what goes around come around. So do unto others as you want done unto you, so thy will be done. And I know the kingdom is coming, and I know from not just the dream that I had, but from the visions of many others in the nature of my son, that they know. And I know prophecy. I know Revelations 4, 5, and 6 about the son in the lamb being slaughtered to his slaughter. I'll never forget the last argument me and my baby had. He said, "Mommy, do you know who I am?" He said, "You gave birth to me. And if you sit supreme, then I sit supreme too." That's what he said. That's exactly what my baby said to me. So I take his death, and I cry at the same time. I look up and I say, God, I know he's being put to use, and I know he's being built back up, and I know he's being armored up. So I'm aware that I only lost the flesh. That's it, but the spirit and the soul belongs to Leah. So there's no harm here. So I can get past, you hurt his flesh, he's gone. But I will know in details what you all are doing to these boys, to our men out here staging these deaths, because his face was staged. It was falsely made up and presented to me to look and to deceive me and to con me. And that's what the city and the state of New York and America wants us to, and wanted me to believe that, and think that they were conning me, because they've been doing this shit for so many fucking years. How many of you think you buried your fucking family members? Because it looked like them. That almost looked like my son if I didn't know. If I had not been that mother who's attentive and who know her child, I would have been like, oh, he looks so nice. Thank you. Thank you for hooking him up, shaping a little bitty bed, because my baby was growing a little man buzz. He's 17, so, becoming a man child. As written, becoming the man child. You guys, you could check me out on Twitter at La Illa El Yah'Mein, the same name that I have for YouTube. And you can check me out also on Black Spot, BLAQ Spot. And you can follow me and hear my story and learn the journey along the way, because I will be updating this everyone about what's going on, and you all will be able to follow up and see, the connivingness that the government is up to, and I'm one of many to see, and that becomes a threat. So having all your emails shut down to the helicopters, constantly, in your window, in your house, just whatever these forces, they're present, but they're not present and strong enough to dismay me. They're not present and strong enough in their sorcery and their sorcerers, because they use all these females with their little blonde haired females, and that's their trademark, and they come and they summons up against us to attack our spirits. So that's how it becomes a spiritual and a holy war. So I already know the traps set up laid against me. I already know the foundations of the mind of those who choose and think they will succeed at coming up against me. So I know of the wrestling of the flesh and the blood and the spirit in those high stolen cosmic places. So I know about that black goo and that black stone in the Kaaba, in the certain group of fake Hiddic people, who say they are, but they are not. I know who you are, and I know what's going on, and I vision and our others visions my death and you guys shooting me. But I already had heads up, so you won't get me when you come. You won't find me when you come, because the war has already won. The war has already been won. I am going to win my court date. My when I get one, as I've been going to court since August 8th, and I have been waiting for them just to approve if I could do pro bono or what, not pro bono, but pro se, and nothing. Here it is in February, and still I haven't heard nothing. But patience is like a lion, the mighty lion when they going after they prey. So, and like that turtle when you making it to win that race. So you be patient, and while you patient, you learn and study and show yourself approved. So I take heed into that knowledge. So that is what is, I see you, is grabbing me to stay whole, because I am aware of the wholeness within me. I'm already aware of the voice that speaks within me. So I don't have to wonder and worry. I don't have to seem, I'm not sure. I already know, what's going on. I already know the plot of my destiny, down to me working on 16th Street. All these songs about going on 16th Street, and her name is TT, and she got the sign on her mouth right over here, right on her cheek. So I know that the world knows. I know that the artists in the music industry are used, and they're using songs and using them with biblical, codes and messages. And it's to the woman, and it's to that queen bee, that queen woman of the heavens, that sanctity from the beginning of Suma, before they came here from your reina. And I already know those plots. So I know that I was reborn here. I know that there's a body like me already present here as well. So I know that I am the dwelling flesh of a spirit-born being. I already know that genetically we all are entombed and reborn of these beings before. So I know what is, the will and what is written. I understand what happened before the book of Genesis and after Revelation. So I know how these people who feel they have supremacy in a way that is dark, it's sick, the Lulu I'm going to refer to. So when the Lulus and their creation, and they weren't created correct anyway, so they're not correctly here. So when you have dogs, activated as humans and cloned bodies imitating you to be like us, in our image like us, if you don't understand what it is to be made in the image and out of a likeness of something, then you will have no idea of what is going on in the cloning. You dumbasses say there's no cloning. Go to congress.gov and look at your legislators. There are over 2,000 legislations passed on cloning. So wake the fuck up, okay? As spiritual as it is, don't be stupid in 2017. Don't willingly fall asleep. Don't willingly offer your soul, because you lose your soul when you don't know, or you just stupid. But anyway, that's what's going down in this world. So the fight of your soul is still in force. The labor of your soul, of your flesh, will be enforced. The labor of your flesh, meaning slavery. They want to put us back in chains. They want us to fight us. And when I'm saying fight us, I mean we fighting amongst us, but there's a greater fight in the spirit that is being taken place, and that's going to manifest in the physical realm. And that fight, they got us fighting us. They got us ready to fight us. So when they go inside that mind and put that Manchurian project, Monarch, Butterfly Project in your MK Ultra brain, brothers and sisters who in that military, you become the Pilates of their mind, of their orchestrating, of their crew, wicked defilement, even thing. But another beautiful thing is that they put things in their movie. So in Apocalypse of X-Men, you see how all of them had shared the mind of one, and that there was one father who shared the thoughts of all his, his little puppets, X-Men experiments, and and even that got hacked. That got hacked. The God in that movie hacked. I call that Steve Jobs. He got hacked, and so that shows you, Satan, he was given power. Remember that he don't have shit. He's being given it. So within his own governed time, he's doing what will. According to, you all know the story in scriptures. You know how the art of the universe works in operation in its foundation of rulership. So when you dealing with the spirit, which is sorcery in itself, and the nature and how it's being used of you 12 kingdoms and you disciples who live here on this earth today, you ought to be ashamed. The 29 men who living here in the fucking papacy house, you faggots. And when I say faggots, I mean you are weak men. Not sexual, but in weakness. You don't have the power to stand up, so you lay down with men. And you become used by these men. And y'all don't want to be a part of that popery anymore. I'm waiting for the Pope to give me that book. That's what I'm waiting for. I want the book. Y'all need to do y'all research. But and I already visioned that you guys are gonna bring it to me. So that's the next prophecy to be fulfilled. You are looking at prophecy being fulfilled. I'm going to show you, and not by the words, but in the manifestation. Because you got a lot of females coming in on this world claiming they are the bride of Christ. You are the bride of Satan. Christ my ass. So you, or God chose you. We are all chosen. But he specifically tell you in the damn books you're reading in Revelations 12 about the daughter, the mother, the bride. You hear who this woman is. She's the same mother of the boy who was slaughtered in Revelations 4, 5, and 6. She's the same woman in John, the elect lady. She's the same woman in Zechariah, Judah, with the firstborn. Read the books. What are y'all doing in church? That Bible got more than one prophecy going on at one time, but only one of them will lead you to the truth. You gonna take that Daniel story and roll with it and go and let Trump phenomenon manifest, because he gonna come and trump over you. And even he too will submit. Even his children too will submit. They all are going to submit. You are going to see the world submit, and it will be to a black woman. They know this. They are prepared to fight for the kingdom that they had stolen. But, we all know what's going to go down, because we too are being prepared for the battle in the spirit and the working on the flesh and the heart and the mind and the soul. We too are going into battle, whether it be mental or spiritual or physically. So be prepared and armored at all times. Brothers, sisters, stand together, not apart. Arguing over bullshit ain't worth it. We are stronger as one. We are stronger together. We are mightier as one. Mightier. There was a time where it says the village could raise a child. I can't get not one motherfucker to stand up for my child. But I'm okay with that, because I already know the gift that God had already placed on him. So it couldn't amount to anything mankind could do for him. But in the meantime, there's other mothers out there, and we need to help each other. We must help each other. But I guess, like it's written, that people are going to come and they're cold, and we are very cold and dysfunctional people. Dysfunctional in our mannerisms of loving. Like, you look on Facebook and all you hear is over and over about not finding love, being broke, being sick, being this. It's like, come on, like we sing, keep singing to the same tune, like Autobots, straight up. But I know the world is being shaped and refashioned in the midst of all the chaos. And I know that Trump is very aware of what's going on. Trump has a mirror wall where you see him with a shadowed face and a black trench coat, and the woman getting caught up behind him. So he's fulfilling the prophecy in Thessalonians 2. So wake up, my brothers and sisters. All people. Because this is the firmament, and God put all of us in it, and allowed us to sustain ourselves on it. Even you clones. Even the clones. Even you all. Being controlled willingly, unknowingly, whatever. But I know that the day is going to come that I will get my victory. And I know that when I win, when you go up against the beast system and you go in their house and you bust their ass in their house and you win in their house, they going to get hurt. And they're going to be dismayed because they don't see it coming. They have no idea the level of knowledge that lies in my bones and my blood and my soul. Even after death, I'm going to live again. And my spirit will continue and continue and continue, because I won't die. The knowledge don't die. Wisdom cannot die. No. Nope. You can't hurt the body, because I already experienced the hurt. So I'm not afraid of hurt. I'm not afraid of loss. You took already, but you can't beat me. That's the true key. They can't beat me. There's only one me, and I have over 10 so far, maybe even more, but so far that I can say that I fouled against. I fouled 10 against 10 systems, and the suit is against 10 systems, because all of them play a part in this mystery Babylon shit. And I haven't even finished, because the music industry plays a very big role into the death and the murder of my son. Having a girlfriend set you up with the niggas who trying to use you. And mothers out here too, sons too. If your mother telling you about women, listen to mommy. Mommy knows. Mommy knows. Mommy knows. Mommy knows. So listen to your moms, man. She ain't gonna steer you wrong. my son had listened, he would, I mean, I can't say he would be here today, because that will be done if it was to have, if it's all done. But if you can go back in the realm of memory, that, he had, listened, and don't rush the date. Don't rush. These girls got hopes and dreams, and you got a lot of men crushing females and breaking females. So then when she gets somebody, she's so broken, and then she hurts this person. So much is going on. My baby taking it is just jealousy. It's hurt, anger. All not from me. It's from them. The wolves in sheep clothing. You understand? And it's always your own. It be your friends to do it. And then the day after he died, they all put up gang. You was never one of us. So these niggas is treacherous, and these are niggas. They not human at all. None of these children, they may look black. Just because you got a black face and you sound like you black don't mean you black. I've seen some white folks out here that I have more respect for than I do black people. So I don't care about color. That shit is so corny now. Even though color matters. Because I know the infinite of this black, and I know that the whole world made a covenant to conceal the truth about the black woman, man, and child. So I understand the supremacy or the supremeness of it, that de la creme of the, this good shit. I understand that. And I understand that it was written that nations that once served you will now be rulers of you. So I am aware of the times that we are in, and that your own creation is ruling over you. So you created these people, and the people you created are now creating you, since you are deceiving your God because you don't want to listen to him. And I'm telling you, people, God ain't Yah, and his name ain't Jesus or Yahweh. Keep calling on the devil if you want to, because he gonna come and collect your heart. That's what he wants, the heart. So collect. The Most High judges the heart. They want to take it, and they feed. Understand this. So let them keep calling on the names of gods that are not known to your ancestors. This shit is written. You will praise these gods that are unknown to you. Everybody calling on Jesus. So he named all over the world. So if this is written that the name of your God will be hidden from you, what are you fucking reading, my people? Jesus ain't hidden. Yahweh ain't hidden. But Iya, oh Lord. And he said, hallowed be thy name. So when you a man, you putting that alto on that voice, and you sing and you praise. And if you look up, I am that I am, it says Yah, Asher, Yah. And you gotta dig deep, not on Google. Google won't get you there. But dig deep in the web, and you will find scriptures. And I will be posting these soon. I have so much. I post only skim it of what I want to teach, just to throw it out and to show people. But unlike anybody on this damn planet, and I'm telling you, there will be no one on this planet like me that will explain that book to you in what is not in it better than me, down to the creations of how your bones relate to the clouds, the material, the same universal things of the clouds, it's also in the body, in the bone. It contains the same. Down to the heart and the rhythm of the heart and the circular motion and how it spirals through that Milky Way. You understanding the calamities of the figure of the way and why the body is just even put into the way it is. There's so much even more deeper than that, down to the blood. Oh, I mean, getting deeper into that. I mean, there's better words to use, but and I will. And you know, I had videos where people told me that some people won't understand because certain words that I use, but get a fucking dictionary if you don't get it, okay? Because upgrade your vocab. And I really feel like I'm dumbing down myself by speaking certain ways because to edify other people who may not know. And that's only temporarily because I can't, you have to catch up. That's the word where it is. You're going to have to catch up. You can't keep being baby fed anymore. The time is up. No more fucking baby feeding you all because we are not babies. We are matured and nurtured for the breast, not the cow. So, you know, you out of the womb now, nurturing and getting you back to where we belong. And we belong in truth. When we vibrate in truth, we will become beyond becoming. And it's only on the rhythm of song and dance before you cry and scream and moan. That's what will happen to us. I mean, you all, because ain't shit happening to me. And that's the only thing that I'm grateful for, is to know that I am secure in my Father. So I know I'm not going to be touched. They're going to come for me, but you can't touch me. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared. But for you all who won't have no one to feed you or to give you milk. So if you're not breastfeeding your babies and you're relying on milk, you won't have that. You won't have many things just like they don't have in other countries. And that is where I hurt. Because children shouldn't have to suffer, but children are going to suffer. Many children are going to cause their own parents are going to cause them to suffer. And all that I'm speaking ain't new, because it's written already. It's written that wisdom was going to come. It's written that she will go through certain things and she will experience certain things. I am at a place where I've never been before. I'd never wear makeup, but because of the energy that I have, I look even sadder because I'm not happy the way I should be. I'm okay. I can get up and breathe, wash my hands, do what I got to do, and I can still do. But until there is justice, there's still a place in your heart that has to continue to be colored on. You understand? It's drawn in already. I already got the love and the care and the protection of the Lord. But I want the salvation. And that's salvation for my son. So the world will know the truth. The world will know what happened to my son and everybody's son out here. There's an attack on your firstborn sons. There's always been an attack on the firstborn sons. What happened? Then Moses was a part of that attack of the firstborn sons. And y'all don't understand Seti, the nature of Seth. And the last ruler is Seth. And it is his, and under his supremacy, that these beings who are and are not Jews, they are the ones who continue under those doctrines. The Turkish, the Arabs, all the nations where you see that they basically stole your shit. That is down to the, like I said, the Sudan down to the Jordan, down to Iran. These were all black lands, down to Russia, all over. I mean, up Russia. These are all blackened lands, and you have Indians, all these people who come together just to conspire against you and to conspire to keep you at a docile place and keep you in slavery. And not just females, mostly the men. The attack is against the black man. Remember, the firstborn sons, because there is a calling on our men. And not just necessarily the calling, because he is the sustainer of life. He is the one to carry life around in his fellow. And we, the ones, once he plants it, we grow it, we nurture it, we do all this. So you like the dirt of the soil, you know, and you'll like the fish in the sea. And they are all the same, producing and coming in together in the same way. In the same way our minds and our body produce and interacts with one another. But if we come together and we harmonize, we'll be on one point. We won't be confused and we won't be misled. We won't be misled. And we're being so misled. And some of you are not going to like the things I say. Like I constantly say, I really don't care. Because when you're standing in truth, you have no time to give a damn about what they don't like or what they won't like. I want those who have seen the Father already. I told you all in my videos since 2015, when they say no man will see God, that is a lie. The Most High said, seek and ye shall find, and all things ask and I will give it unto you. And he has never lied. People in my situation will probably go through hell, and I was by myself going through this shit. It ain't like somebody was there to wipe my ass. I don't have no husband here to pat me on the back. So I mourn alone in flesh, but the spirit, I was content. I was removed. I was covered in shield and laid to rest, so that I wouldn't have to just be darkened in my mind of hurt and anger and wanting to get, retaliate. I didn't have to go there. I didn't have to dwell in that emptiness. God kept my mind. He allowed me to keep myself and to continue to nurture myself and nurture my children and to become better and to become more motivated, because he promised me that he would give it all back before he told me it was going to be taken away. He already showed me that you're going to lose, but you will gain. So I stand on the promise. I've had no choice but to live my life on a promise. I'm a child who, from a little girl from 2 years old, who kept listening to the voice guide you, lead you, and make every step be known to you. Only but a glorious God. And not only do he speak to you, your God is so good and so loving that he's speaking all over the world. How good is he? And the things that he lay in your heart, he's laying in theirs. If he ain't real, then who is? Come on. That's how mighty he is, because he put himself and he blew his breath and all. So if the breath that is of his spirit is living in you, then that is a part of him already manifested there. So when you before you even came here and before you was even created, and he knew who you were and fashioned and already saw you. So when you living here on this earth thinking that you rule this shit, and he telling you, nigga, go that way because I know what's coming, and you say I'm gonna go this way, until something happens, until you learn and become obedient to the spirit, God will continue to allow you to wrestle with your flesh. So many of us will have to face that fleshly wrestle, and until you willing to wise up and see that the only truth is in your spirit already, because your spirit is already, it's old. It's from an old spirit, right? So your spirit already knows. It knows mad already. It knows anger already. It knows sad already. It knows your joys already. It hints to you these things. They're only waiting for you to confirm it and acknowledge it, and it reveal more. So the more you go in the spirit, the more it gives out, to the point where you and the spirit are one. You no longer doubting it. You on point. So if it say turn to page 38, you on it. You aware. Why? Because the spirit moves. So I mean, they got some technology and shit that's trying to, stop you from thinking about God and talk about God too much, because you bastards don't want to, be obedient. But that's okay. It is okay. Didn't they say do what thou wilt, right? So, and under the guise of knowing that the penalties of both good and bad will manifest. So we can do so. And I say do what thou wilt too, because those children who know what happened to my son, who was there that night, Ishi, who was there that night, Ajane, who was there that night, Didi, who was there that night, Trey, who was there that night, Ashley, who was there that night, Princess, who was there that night, Scotty, who was there that night, Gigi, and a couple of more, persons, Ishi, and, there's more. They named their own papers, so I don't remember them, because I, later on discovered about them, where, the children told me that what happened is when they was all down in the basement drinking and having fun or whatever, once he got drunk or whatever, my son at like 9 o'clock, he knows, first of all, y'all, Metro card is going to run out and you got to go home. And if you hop the train station, they're going to lock you up, and you don't want to get locked up. You claim jail ain't for you, that ain't your shit, and you don't want to be up in there. So he knew, get your ass home. So they said, and it was confirming, he was getting up and he was ready to leave. And that's when people bust through the door. And according to Adore, it was the police. They bust in the door and robbed their asses and basically manhandled their ass. They knew what they did. They was monitoring them. It's like they knew already. They knew. They already knew. They seen it all. It's just they just came in and busted them after the fact. Whatever. And that's why they ran. They tried to run and get away from the cops. And then the medical report shows you, first of all, the dates of the pictures and the chronology of it is just totally blur, blase, but that's whatever. But the issue was when you have, we in the year 2016 at that time, looking at the photos, and only one bullet is for 2013 bullet. Like, what's so important that all your pictures have a certain date, but this one is specifically 3 years later? Like, what's going on? What's so special about that bullet? Because, see, that's around the time my son got shot with that bullet. And I know who shot my son. Motherfucking cops in Brooklyn. And that's what's going on. See, the cops are out here chasing your children. They out to get them. So I didn't want to hear my son at the time. I wasn't hearing him. It was, you got to listen, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. But you're not taking the time to listen to these damn children, so you don't know what's going on. So you let the news tell you your fucking kids is dopehead, crackheads, drug dealers, and gangsters, and that's it. Fuck that the boy got a 3.3 GPA. Fuck that, he have other attributes going on. That will go out the window. Out the window that he excels. Even when the boy got arrested in the Safe Horizon, formerly Spofford or whatever, he became the leader in the whole goddamn facility. Anywhere he went, he was the leader. So you dealing with a God here, and my son seen himself as Suave the God. Literally, I am a God. I'm not God, but I am a God, and I know he's real, mommy. I hear him talking and telling me things, mommy. Anyway, this story is so much more to this story, but just to give you out of my mouth, my cap, and my time, of going back and forth. I'm certain there's some things I missed, but as I said, I will continue to follow up, because this story is not over. The Bible does not close. It continues, and until the prophecies are fulfilled, we will go through some things, and you're gonna hear some things, and you're gonna feel some things. But I'm telling you all, every viewer on this earth that's watching my video, look at my face. It looks sad and dry, probably, I don't know, and tired, because I am definitely tired. But you will see me coming. This is a promise. This sign is the same symbol as your crescent moon. You see your Islam flag, that stolen flag, and then you see the Turkish flag where they take the crescent moon and introvert it down and put the moon under it. And then Islam, the half moon and the star on the side. But in ancient Sumeria and Babylon, it was the moon, the sun, the star and the sun under it. And the moon under it. I was born with this. And in the Bible, if you people think that the 1611 Bible is the oldest Bible and the only known Bible, you are dumb. Because you did not wake up in 1611. And you didn't start thinking in 1611. I mean, shit was written years before 1611. So things existed prior to that. Stop having a only pre-post, slave mindset where you can't think anything other, besides something that's taught purposefully to keep you from seeking things outside of you and within you. So going within you, that's the key to this madness. So when you start seeing this, and when we start waking up and we start paying attention, everything we all say to each other is the same shit, just different subjects, maybe in a different way of wording it or a different way of, expressing it. That's it. But we're on the same page. We're saying and feeling the same things. So why are we at war? And the mothers too. Your children in fucking gangs. Come on, mama. You gotta be a mama, man. And when your kids are wrong, they wrong, and they right, they right. And when they out here in these gangs, call them out on that. Mother to mother, son or whatever. Not to the world now. But let them know you love them. Let them know that I got your back, baby. You don't need to be in that gang. You don't need to be affiliated with half of them. I'm not saying you don't got to be their friends or whatever, but teach them too that if we going to be in this blood shit or this crip shit, crip out for God. But don't go cripping out for the government. I cried so many times already because God already showed me the multiple of women being beaten, raped, and their body getting, just the things, defiling them and embarrassing them in the street with raping and touching them and fondling them, making us women take showers and wash our body while they defile us. They gonna do all of that. I seen it already. They already making commercials talking about they want a tall, slim macchiato. Come on now. Y'all don't know what y'all tall, slim macchiato mulattoes look like, or light, fair skin, house skin, yellow skin later. They got a flair for their mulatto, for their mixed breeds. But, whatever. Wake up. And let's become one. In spirit first. Keep me in your thoughts and your minds, because you be in minds too. But the thing is with me, I'm only gonna keep those who want to live and who want to fight, who have rebellion for truth in their spirit. If you weak and you have no integrity in you and no zealousness, no righteousness to live, you are dead already. So I ain't wasting my time on the dead. I will no longer waste my time on the dead. I want to speak to the living. Where you at? How you living? How you living? How you live? I want to speak to those who are awake, and that's only in spirit. Don't get knowledge confused, because we all got our own share of knowledge. But go in the spirit. I want to know how you communicate with your God, how you talk to your God. Let's share.